Okay, are you ready for some Q&A?
Yes, I am.
All right. So, Sarunas Nesvarvu, so if I pronounce your name badly, miss or sir, ask, when Bitcoin will come, how will people pay loans and mortgage? How does banks convert existing loans to Bitcoin or another cryptocurrency price?
You asked that question
Yesterday, but not on video.
Yeah, exactly. The answer is you wouldn't, right? And he was like, "What? What are you talking about?" Right? You just you know what? They never existed in the past, right? Consumer loans, right? You wouldn't borrow to buy a house. You wouldn't borrow to buy a car or anything that was a consumer item. And the reason why is because money was slowly increasing in value. And so effectively your job, right, unless you could constantly increase your value potential in your job, there's a high probability that eventually you will get fired and replaced with somebody that's a cheaper price because, hey, the money that they're paying you is getting higher and higher value. So if you're getting a fixed salary, that salary as time goes on, it becomes worth more and more and more. And so it makes sense for a businessman to go, okay, well, you know what? I need to cut costs, right? I need to improve because the prices are going lower. Like, for example, he's producing XYZ widget, and somebody else is undercutting him because he's hired a bunch of people at a lower price. So he's got the other businessman's got to do the exact same thing. He's got to cut his employees and hire them at lower prices. And so you're going to see that. So it doesn't make any sense for a bank to actually do that. And they never did in the past. They never gave out consumer loans for anything. And it was always, it was possible for you to buy a house on loan, right, from somebody else, from an individual, right, not from a bank. But people would frown on that. They'd like, what? You did that? That's insane. That'd be like, you are crazy, and you don't know how to save money, and that's always going up in value. Because you know what? That house price, right, is gonna drop in value over time. These houses are just only getting cheaper, right? And that's the difference. Your houses everything is actually gonna get cheaper, not more expensive. So it only makes sense to go, I'm not gonna take a loan. I'm going to actually work, and I'm going to save. And my savings will eventually pay for the house because the house will slowly meet. As my savings slowly increases, the price of the house slowly goes down. Right? You don't have to chase after assets like real estate in order to get into it, right? Anymore. That's not how it's going to happen, right? The whole world is going to work normally. Right now, the way we work, the way things are, is not normal. It's not normal. It's abnormal. Right? We just think it is, right? It's like, here's the thing, right? You also mentioned, I know I'm going off on a tangent here. I also explained that back in 1907, banks were freaking out, right? Because a lot of people were not leaving money in the banks. Well, because what's the point? It was too high of a risk, right? Your cash was always going up in value. So what was the point? You leave it in the bank, right? The bank could, go under, and you could lose all your money. So, you're gaining a little bit of interest, but it's not worth it, right? When hey, you know what? You want to be able to buy something in the future. So people were not less and less leaving money in banks, and so the banks cooked up the scheme. And this is not a scam. This is not a conspiracy theory. I mean, it's not a conspiracy theory. This is actual fact. They cooked up the 1907. Banking crisis, and J.P. Morgan actually did it, and then he actually provided the solution by bailing out everybody that had all the banks that went under, and because he planned it, right? so obviously he had the money because he saw that was coming, right? Right? Because hey, if you plan a disaster, you're gonna prepare for it. And the reason why he did that, right, is to make the government, to make it so that the government say, okay, we can't have this happen again. How can we prevent this happening again? We need to come up with central bank. And he provided a solution, central bank, so that there will never be we'll never run out of money, which creates our abnormal economy, where people go into debt to buy things they don't need with money that they don't have, and they get it today, right? They get satisfied today. That's not how the world should be working at all. Believe it or not, it should not. This is absolutely abnormal. You have been defrauded. You have been scammed, right? And the sad thing is, the thing that burns me is that they talk about how they write about it. It's in books everywhere that you've been defrauded, but yet today we're just like, well, no, it's just how our financial system works. It's not a scam. But they just said, but the people who put it together said it's a scam. No, it's not a scam. But they said, no, it's not. So, which is it? I mean, come on, man. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.